I'm gonna try this YouTube live thing. I'm going to try and do my WIP parade, and I hope I have this set up right. I don't know. We'll try it. So my WIP parade, I've already tried to record this, and when I first started YouTube videos, I used Windows Movie Maker, and then when Windows upgraded to Windows 10, Windows Movie Maker and Windows 10, they're not even frenemies. They do not like each other. So then I went to YouTube Editor, which is gone now. So, yeah. And my phone only records 33 minutes before it does weird stuff. And I really just edit to mush clips together. So we're going to try this, and we're going to do the WIP parade. I've already recorded it once, and yeah, ugly wall, just ignore it. I'm in the common area in our house, so we may have interruptions. But I thought I would do this now. So my WIP parade, at least I got a list of my WIPs. Oops, that's not my WIP. I got a list of my WIPs together, so hopefully it's a little more organized, but yeah. We will see. Since I did my WIP video that you guys never saw because I didn't upload it, I've actually had some finishes since then. So, let's see, what else do I want to say about that? I actually have less WIPs than I thought I would. Does that mean that 5 people are watching? I don't know. I don't have the method. Oh, I'm just trying to figure this out. I'm sorry. Show live chat. Okay. I don't know. But I actually have less WIPs than I thought I would. And so I'm going to go through all of those that I do have, but I have 2 WIPs that they're going to be gone. Not doing them. They're not on any list. They're not bad projects. I'm not motivated to stitch on them, so I am going to reuse the materials for something else. WIP number 1 that's going away is Blackwork Hummingbird. And it's a beautiful design, but when I started it in the Cross Stitch Crazy Challenge in January, we got in an argument. It's a colored pattern, and a colored pattern isn't bad unless they're trying to, okay, this is new to me, figuring this out, please bear with me. A colored pattern isn't bad, but when you have 5 different shades of teal blue and they're trying to match the ink to the floss, it gets very confusing. So that one's going away. The other one that's going away is this one, Lizzie Kate Summer. I'm not quite sure why. I started stitching on it and lost all motivation. So chances are I'll do this in a few years or something. But this is as far as I got, 1 line. So I'm like, you know what? I can reuse that fabric for a different project and call it a day. So those 2 are going away. But the ones that I have, let's see, I did make a list, so I'll just pull them out as they're in the box. So I'll start with my main one I want to have done in 2018. That's the Grace and Love Burst Sampler by Stony Creek. The bunnies are the main issue. They look like pigs. Can you see that? Yeah. I'm not happy with that. So I changed it. I put the 1 more stitch per ear, and then I extended the back stitching around it. But I ran into another issue with regard to the name. You have David Michael here. That's 5 letters and 7 letters. My son has 7 letters in his first name and 6 letters in his middle name. It doesn't fit. So they didn't chart enough space. And I'm thinking, you know, it's not uncommon to have those lengths of names. So it's kind of weird that they didn't take that into consideration. You know, if you have 12 letters, great, it fits perfectly, but what if you don't? And his name isn't like Bartholomew, you know, Amadeus or some big old name. It's a very simple name, so I don't know. So what I did is I chose to go his first name, middle name, and then I added another line, which I kind of was worried about until I measured my fabric, and I did have enough room in my fabric because I was kind of sweating bullets there for a minute. So then I have our last name, and then his birth date, his stats, and then, hi Andrea, hi Distracted Stitcher. Sorry, I don't know your first name. I don't know why you'd want the city and the state where he was born. So I just took that out. So reality is I'll only have 4 added rows, so I get plenty of fabric. But the fabric I'm stitching it on is 28 count Joblin, and the color is China Pearl. It's a really, really nice color. It's a very, very nice color. It's kind of a green-gray color, and I'm going to, where's my thing? I lost my thing. I've never done these live videos before, so we'll see if I don't know. They keep taking all of my toys away, so I have to go and find some new things, I guess. But I'm going to cover up his name for privacy reasons. And, oh, hi, Kimberly. Here is where I'm at. So, I covered up his name, but I've got the top there, and I started on the specialty stitches here. That is called the Scotch stitch, and it's basically satin stitch. It depends on the holes you come up and go down and come up and go down, but the dark blue ones are going this diagonally this way, and the light blue are going diagonally this way, so it kind of looks like a weaving, basket weave kind of look. And then I did that section, that section, that section, and another section of specialty stitches. We have Smyrna crosses here. Diamond, what are they called? Diamond. So the little ones that you see on the edge, that's called diamond satin stitch. So you do that first, like you frame each stitch. And then you have the diamond satin stitch again, the big diamonds in the middle. And then underneath that I'm starting on the diamond eyelets. And then there's one more specialty stitch that's going to go here and here. And it's called the pulled ring back stitch. That one I'm kind of nervous on. I've never done that one. I've done the other ones before. But it gives you kind of this lattice look to the pieces. So I'm going to try it and hopefully it works. So the reality is I am almost done. I have all his name and stats. I'm working on these flowers here, and then there's just this little bit of stitching, and I have to fill in a couple of specialty stitches and a beads, and it's done. And the beads are like 50 beads for the entire project. It's not that bad at all. I might have this done soon. And this is the one that I want to have done for the year. So that'll be fun. That one. And then, pull out a piece here. I have some Charting Creations, Tribal Wolf Silhouette. I'm doing this one for my husband, and I'm doing it on 32 count Lugana in Orange Clementine. Orange Clementine. And, whoops, that's the back. Here's where I'm at. So not very far. I started this one for the Guess What Sal in Cross Stitch Finish Line. So day 1 you showed your fabric, day 2 you showed your fiber, which my fiber is Karen Collection Wildflower. Ooh, doesn't help to have a label on no fiber. There we go. It's called Black Forest. So this is one of their cottons. The thickness is about a 12, number 12 thickness. It's slightly variegated, browns and grays. It'll look nice on there. So I plan on really focusing on this one next year. It's one of my focuses for next year. And charting creation charts are very nice to read if you're wondering about that. They are very nice to read. There's going to be a lot of crinkle because to keep everything organized. So, and also I'm going to mark them off as I go, otherwise I'll never remember which ones I've talked about. Let me put these aside here for a minute. Ink circles. This one is probably one of my oldest WIPs now. And it's not the oldest, but it's one of the oldest. It is called Garden Stars. This piece is huge. It's very, very big. So, then the piece of fabric I think is 27 by 36. Here it is. What happened? Are we back? I hope I'm back. Oh, this technology. It says it's recording. Good. So I'll trust it's back. I have no idea what happened. It was my internet this time. So it was my end of things. And our internet will just go out just 'cause. You know, somebody sneezed in England or something. Who knows? But here are some closer motifs. And to give you perspective, right here where this gold is and right here where this gold is, those are the vertical and horizontal centers. So it's big. It's a big piece. I have like 4 motifs to go on this side and then this half will be done. The pattern, okay, it's stitched on 32 count cream. And I had to get like a 27 by 36 inch piece, and it's called Garden Stars by Ink Circles. This was, I ordered this through 123 Stitch, but last time I looked it wasn't in their shop anymore, but I know that Cindy Sorley had it in her group, so hopefully it's not out of print. I hope it's not out of print. It's just basic cross stitch and DMC. And if you didn't like green, there's 27 shades of green. You can choose 27 blues or reds or purples, or even go multicolor. I think it would look really nice grayscale, but yeah, Garden Stars by Ink Circles. And keep moving my pencil. This one, another Ink Circles, called Baroque. I'm stitching this on 36 count. 36 count Lugana. It's on my list. Yes, I am a list maker. And it is an opalescent and sorry. The thread got caught in the zipper. It's an opalescent white or antique white? Just white. And this way is up. I'm I'm stitching this with Soie Cristal, which is a Caron Collection silk. It's more solid than the water lilies. And this one is called just Teal Blue. The color's 8123. I did make sure to get the same dye lots because I needed 4 of them. I think dye lot would matter on that fiber. Keep misplacing my pencil. Then, let's see. Oh, we're breaking out the mirrors. As y'all know, I love mirrors. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, it's Norah Bellavita. Now, I wasn't sure when I first got her if I liked the colors or not. So then I started thinking about it and I am doing a color conversion. This is 32 count Belfast. Picture this plus, Arctic. Here is how far I am. I don't know if you can see all the white. So, yeah, I have a long way to go on that one, but it's coming together nicely. I think it'll be a nice piece when it's all done. Bellavita. Okay. Grasshopper Pie, Glendon Place. I am using the charted Dinky Dies. It's 32 count Queen Anne's lace. It's a Joblin, I believe, or is it Lugana? It's Joblin. And here is where I'm at. This is, so I have 8 goals for 2017. I've completed 6 of them. The burst samplers would be number 7 and this is number 8. So I will be pulling this out and working on it more. Again, Glendon Place, it's just basic. Well, this one anyway, this type of Glendon Place pattern, it's just basic cross stitch. So there's no special stitches. There are beads, no metallics unless you want to add them, which you can do. And yeah, it's a fun piece. It is, and you get those little sections done, and you feel like you have a mini finish. So that was Pie. What was the other one? Oh, Bellavita. Okay. I just don't want to forget them because I'm trying to get organized. Aren't we all? This one is Rose Celebration. Doing this one for my youngest daughter, and it is on 32 count Belfast. I like 32 count. It's, hand dyed by Stephanie, Autumn Splendor. The colors are just popping on this fabric. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful piece. So there's Rose Celebration. And from the Just Cross Stitch magazine, April 2016. Seasons in Chalk, Spring. I'm not doing it on that, whatever it called for. I am doing it on 18 count. It's called Heaven. It's Fabrics by LJ. And it is real. I'm using the called for threads. And it's really coming together. I will say though, I had to buy a second skein of the chalk because to do all the, I could do the letters are all in chalk and then there's like the border and stuff. I knew I'd run out. So it's a really nice piece of fabric. I want to give away in the Fabrics by LJ group, and so this was a piece of fabric that I picked up with that giveaway. So spring rose celebration. Oh, this one. So many of these pieces I want to get back to if I only had like 6 hands in, you know, 48-hour days. Let Freedom Ring, Lila Studios. Love this piece. Love it. Stitching it on 36 count, properly primitive. Edinburgh, I believe, is the linen. It's Under the Sea Fabrics. Here's where I'm at. This fabric it's an amazing color. It's beautiful. I haven't done any back stitching because at the time I was stitching on it, I didn't have one of the main greens, and I want to get these trees in before I start back stitching on the building. They just didn't have it at my L&S. They were on back order. I do have it now, so when I pick it up again, I can just keep going. Lila Studios, her patterns are very nice to read. Nice size, clear symbols. I've been very happy with that pattern. And then we have Raven Queen. Now I am not going to be stitching the ravens. This one I'm going to leave out, and then this one I'm going to put a red apple in her hand because when I saw the pattern, the first thing I thought of was Once Upon a Time, the TV show, and Regina and the outfits that she wears. Oh my word. Those must be really heavy. You'd think they'd be heavy for the actress. This is Chromatic Alchemy, 32 count Belfast, Maelstrom. Oops. Sorry, upside down. Like, that doesn't look right. Here we go. There's where I'm at. I was working on this castle part over here. So this color fabric, it's not showing up. My lighting isn't the greatest, but it's a beautiful piece. And Chromatic Alchemy, her fabrics are so nice to stitch on. If you were wondering, they're very nice to stitch on. She has excellent customer service. Stephanie has excellent customer service. Leslie has excellent customer service. LJ Lucas has excellent customer service. It's always good to hear that when you are looking at finding your supplies. So that was that Freedom Ring and Raven Queen. Okay. On to box 2. This, I think, is my oldest WIP now. And I don't have a picture. Where did I put my picture? Well, I'll put her aside, because I have pictures for the others. We will start with this one. Red. I've already stitched her as red. I am restitching her in blues. A lovely lady named Beverly has done a color conversion. And I'll try and put her, if I can put her link below, I will, to her blog. She did a purple conversion, she did a blue conversion, and she's currently stitching a turquoise conversion last time I checked. This is 32 count Belfast, Zeus's Domain, Under the Sea Fabrics. So it goes light to dark. And here's where I'm at with the blues. I also had my pattern, I copied my pattern and I had them reverse it. So while the red one faces this way, when I stitch the blue one, she'll face this way, so they'll pair up. I think that'll look really nice when I get it done. Red didn't take too long to do when I focused on her. So some of the other mirrors, we tussle. This one, uh-oh, hit my bag. start. Moonflowers, Mirabilia. This picture doesn't do it justice at all. I've seen this stitched in real life and it, wow, the sparkle and the detail is just amazing. This is also under the sea fabric 32 count Belfast. It's called Ursula. And I am stitching it with the, so Ursula has stripes, the gradation of the colors. I'm stitching it with the dark at the top, so the moon pops. Why didn't I show you the front? Sorry. And then the dress will pop on the lighter part. I started a lot of these in the Cross Stitch Crazy Challenge January of 2016. So I didn't get a huge amount of time into them. But, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to do that again. It was hard for 31 days to work on a different project every day because so many of these I'm like, oh no, I want to stitch on it longer. I did it successfully, but it was hard. So that's when I started a lot of these. Moonflowers and Raven Queen. I got Raven Queen. Oh, red. Another one I started in January 2016 from Cross Stitch Crazy June 2015. This Art Deco Lady by Joan Elliott. I'm a Downton Abbey fan. Yeah, as in I've watched. I have the videos for the first 5 seasons. And then on Amazon Prime I can watch season 6. So yeah, I've watched them multiple times. This is 32 count. Oh, I lost the tag. It's silver. I think it's silver gray. This is where I'm at. So I like that one. I love the colors that she used. And the face on the lady is just really, really nice. Okay. I showed a piece I was stitching for my youngest daughter. And I am stitching this one for my middle daughter, Sleeping Princess, Mirabilia. I saw this one stitched up and it is amazing. It was before she added, because like all the bedposts here, that's metallic. So she had all the stitching done. She didn't have any beads in it yet, and it was absolutely stunning, but there are a lot of beads in here too. Ooh, apologize. 32 count mushroom. Lugana. And here's where I'm at. So working on those mattresses and part of her dress. My daughter and I, we were looking, I don't know what we were looking for. And we opened this box, and here's this pattern sitting there. I have no clue why the pattern was there, but my daughter said, oh, she likes the Mirabilias, but that one, I'm like, okay, I'm stitching that one for you. Yep. For my oldest daughter, I'm stitching Cassiopeia. And my oldest daughter chose this one. It was either this one or Bianca Bella. I don't know if I'm saying that right. And I'm stitching it on 32 Lugana. I think it's Lugana. Yes. 32 count Lugana Gothic by Picture This Plus. And here's where I'm at. It's working on some of that wallpaper behind her. So here is the center and here is the outer edge. She's not as large as other Miras, but she's detailed and I love the colors in her. So there's that one. Why do I have this one? Things are appearing. Then we have Another Mira. Yes, Nora Corbett is my favorite designer. Christmas in London. Yeah, the picture is kind of like, well, wow, it's kind of detailed. But then you see it, and it's like, oh, you're blown away. All the detail and the beads and stuff. This one, yeah, it's amazing. 32 count Belfast white opal. Because of the busyness, I wanted the pattern to show, and so I thought, well, a little sparkle in the background will accent it, but won't take away. So I didn't get very much done. That's her dress and part of the mantle. So yeah. She's not gonna be done in 2018. I'll tell you that, but she's gonna be beautiful when she is done. Let me take a quick drink here. I have a cold coming on, so I'm trying to head it off. I have to watch what I eat and drink because baby's extremely sensitive, because I'm still nursing, and he's extremely sensitive to what I eat and drink. So Cassiopeia, Christmas in London, and Sleeping Princess. Haven't shown any of those yet. So, next one. Another Mira. Garden Party. I've seen this stitched on a dark, might even been stitched on Gothic. And it's beautiful. I just don't like the lanterns. I don't know why. I don't like the lanterns. And then she's holding a bird. I don't know if I'm going to put a bird in her hand. I love the ladies though. Their dresses, all these florals down here, and all the detail. It's just stunning. I just don't like the lanterns. I was thinking, you know how Lady of Mystery has that kind of wrought iron work up here? Maybe that would look nice on this piece. But I'm stitching this on 32 count Belfast. Surprise, surprise. It's kind of my go-to. I used to be Lugana, but now I like the Belfast better. Crystal Da Vinci by Picture This Plus. And which way does it go? It goes this way, right? Yes. This way. Again, I only was able to stitch on it one day, so. And then I had a baby, and yeah. Stitching that put to the side. Yes, Mr. Mini Dot is 11 months old now. He's crawling everywhere. Not walking, but he's crawling everywhere. So we have to keep good eye on him. Florentina. I love kind of the Greek look to this one. Or Roman. Well, I like this. Not sure about the cat. I don't hate cats. I like cats. I'm allergic to them, but I like them anyway. But I do like her and her gown. She has a lot of water lilies in her. 32 count. I think this is Lugana. Yes, Lugana. It is, I think it's this way. Elphaba, Under the Sea Fabrics. Elphaba. So it's the center of her gown there. And again, where the metal lines are, those are the vertical and horizontal centers. I've just noticed for myself, if I do that, then as I go down the pattern, I kind of gauge, am I getting off a little bit? It's a help for me. I use the sliver, the sulky sliver. The silver and the gold, I've never had a problem with them coming out when I'm done stitching, or having them discolor the fabric, because I know somebody said that the blue blue sulky sliver can discolor the fabric around it. I've never had a problem with the gold or the silver, and I just get that at Joann's, use a coupon. Oh, I forgot to grab the picture. So it's Aphrodite. by Mira. And this is 32 count opal Belfast Sea God, and it is just gorgeous on this fabric. Her tail there. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to do the shell. I'm not sure. I keep going back and forth on that. I love this fabric. Again, Under the Sea Fabrics. And the pictures over there. But going down the Mirabilia Road. This one I don't have a picture. I'm not sure where my picture is for this one. It is called Feather Fairy. I took this one on the retreat with me. And here is where I'm at on this one. Most of her, you know, like probably half her skirt. Got it in my, yeah, those are, I'm getting to them, Grandma. I'm getting to them. The fabric here is 32 count, or I'm sorry, yes, 32 count Jobelin, Georgia Peach Fabrics by LJ. I was kind of concerned that I'd run out of room, so I was looking at the pattern. Her legs don't come like way down, just a little bit, because I thought, oh no, I do all this stitching and then can't do it anymore. Oh, that would bug me. Let me grab the teacups. I think I'm right there. It was funny, I lost a couple of finishes that I knew I had done earlier this year. So when I did my WIP parade that you guys didn't see because I didn't post it, here was the finish sitting in the bag with the teacups. Don't know why I did that. I have no idea. But the Teacup Herbs, Just Cross Stitch Magazine, April 2015 and June 2015. There's a series of 4, and 2 are in one magazine and 2 are the other. This is from the June one. It's Basil and Sage. And then I think it shows, yeah, there's the picture of all 4 of them. Thyme and Dill are the other 2. And I didn't get far on the 2 from this particular magazine, so I'll show those first. 28 count Lugana Antique White. So here's one of them. And here's the other, I think. I'm not sure. I have to look at the pattern to figure out which way the stripes go. What I like about it is that the border is the same in each one, so once you learn the border on one, it works great for all of them. And you don't have to think about always having to look at the pattern. But here are the other 2. This one is Dill. So I got a lot on the cup in the border. And this one is Thyme. If you've watched Stitching by the Lake, I think this is the one that she has stitched, and she mounted it on a box lid and she uses it in her kitchen to hold her tea. I know it's one of these. I thought it was this one. It could have been the Dill one, but I thought it was this one. But yeah, it's a nice pattern. The only complaint I have about the pattern is the colors are numerical by Sullivan's rather than DMC, which I'm using DMC, but that's not a big deal. It's still really, really nice pattern. So, yeah, and then I couldn't find those patterns. I looked everywhere, and I'm going to quick show them. So this is one finish. It's a Christmas ornament by Glendon Place. This is that MCG Textiles. So even though it's not perfectly square, it's an ornament. I'm going to fully finish this as a pillow, so it'll be great. The fiber is Thread Gatherer Silken Colors. It's called Midsummer Vineyard, and I just love the colors on this. And when my son went to boot camp, I needed a new start. So this is what I started. And then when I was done with that one, I worked on this one. This is by Trail Creek Farm. And it was a freebie at Keepsakes, the Keepsakes that Pam and Steph talk about, stitching, Just Keep Stitching, and Leslie's talked about. And this was also a freebie there. This one I know was a stitched display piece. I don't remember if this one was or not. But this one was really cute. I did not use the charted colors though. I used Carrie's Creation Cottons, Chimera, Blue Lagoon, Plum Passion. And I didn't notice this till I showed this in the video you guys never saw. It looks like little snowmen. I couldn't figure out what those little stitches were. The little snowman's peeking over the word. And I love snowmen, so I thought that was really cute. That just took me a couple nights. And you're like, oh no, bad connection. Why is it a bad connection? Okay, apparently it fixed itself. What is with the border? That is not part of this piece. I originally was stitching another piece. And you know how the Alleluia moment when your border matches up? I had that. And the next night, I started stitching the stuff that's inside, and I thought, this doesn't look right. What's wrong with this picture? Counted, recounted, looked at the chart. It took me forever to figure out that all these little sections here, those are 5 stitches, except the corners. They're supposed to be 6. No way I'm ripping all that out. So I found a little piece that I could use in the center to salvage the fabric, and again I'm going to finish it as a Christmas ornament. I'm not sure how, but I just wanted to show that, so you know, if you have that issue, you can salvage your fabric. But I found that with the Teacup Herbs. No clue why I put it in that bag. I just don't know. But I found it. What do we have here? I don't normally do kits, but I do have a couple of pieces that have come from kits. This one, Birdcage Elegance by Designworks. Someone stitched this on Facebook, and it's beautiful. I am using the 14 count that came with the kit. It's not horrible. It's not what I'm used to, but yeah, I love the colors. I will say I'm not going to use the metallic that was included in the kit. I will use Petite Treasure Braid instead, because it's not good quality. And the other kit that I have is a Joan Elliott. It's called Ice Fairy. I know on her website it's called Winter Fairy, but maybe Designworks had to rename it when they kitted it. And again, I'm not using the metallic they called for. I'm going to use Krennic or Petite Treasure Braid. And again, it's 14 count. Aida. And here's where I'm at. It's nice on the eyes. It's a nice pattern on the eyes, and I love the colors in it. So those are the only 2 kits I have. Otherwise, I kitted up myself. Another Gwen Place. Love Gwen Place. Her designs are so nice to read. Plum pudding. Of all the dessert mandalas, this is my favorite one, I think. Well, maybe. But I do want to collect those. I have a few of them. And this is 32 count Belfast Sprite by Picture This Plus. So I just started the center. Didn't get very far on that one because I really want to get the grasshopper pie one done and then have this be my main Glendon Place one. So I am using the Culture Silks. I'm going to use those. Love Pinky Dye Silks. I know some people prefer other fibers, and somebody was going to convert one of those into oranges and stuff. It will be beautiful when it's done. Teacup Herbs, show those. Aphrodite, Feather Fairy. Did not show that one. Okay. Country Cottage Needleworks. Summer Garden. This one has a lot more detail in it than I thought when I first saw it. I didn't realize there was a cat and there's a bunny. But it's a beautiful piece. And it's on 32 count Belfast. Well, I'm not sure if it's Belfast. It's 32 count linen. It's called Water Lily. And here is where I'm at. So this is one of those take to the doctor's office ones. And my husband has some medical things coming up. I hope they find something, but I don't. You know what? Yeah, it's one of those situations. But I might bring that. I think that would be a good one to grab. Just make sure I have scissors. This one, Celtic Winter, lavender and lace. There are five ladies in the Celtic series. I have stitched 4 of them. This is the only one I haven't stitched. I did start this one, and I actually started it on the fabric that I'm doing the Art Deco lady, but I bought fabric that was 9 inches too small. Why I did that, I don't know. I'm usually better. It must have been one of those, you look at the shelf and you think you're grabbing this, but you're really grabbing something else. That always happens at the grocery store. You think you're getting diced tomatoes and you end up with stewed tomatoes. Why is that's my internet doing weird things. Hopefully it'll post. Well, here's where I'm at. It's 32 count Belfast. It's Stormy Mist, so it has kind of a modeling to it. But that's the only one I have not stitched. And I am stitching it as charted because I stitched all the other ones as charted. So, that one. And this one I purchased online, Etsy, Teresa Gill. Queen Elizabeth and her coronation gown. And Gill is G-I-L. Teresa without an H. Yeah. So Teresa Gill, and she's on Etsy. So I bought that, and it came from Spain, and it came really, really fast. Why is my connection going bad? Okay. I'm sorry. It's my internet. Here's where I'm at. Again, I only stitched on her for a day, so kind of that's the edge of her cape of her gown. It's a beautiful piece. Teresa's shown close-up pictures of her stitching, and it's just amazing. Almost to the end. We're almost there. We're getting there. And picture. Venetian opulence. Mira. Yes, I have to get into that never-ending gown. But I have all the arch done. And she's done except for the Krennic and the beads. And then I was working on her fan. Then just work my way down. I had hoped to have her done already, but sometimes you just fall out of love with a piece and you need to put it aside for a while. Spring Queen, Mirabilia. Stitching this on antique white Lugana. Or is it Jobelin? Jobelin. And again, I only stitched on her one day, so I got a lot of yellow on her skirt started. But I have stitched Autumn Queen, and I thought that I thought I stitched Autumn Queen on the same fabric, and I didn't. That's okay. It will look great when it's done. Save the stitches, Elizabeth Almond. $36 count antique white. Here is where I'm at. Ooh. So I have the frames done for the first 3 blocks, but I need to go back and fill them in. So I'm using Presentia, Finca Presentia, number 12. The number is 9435, so I don't know. I got this at my LNS, and I hopefully got enough. And then the middle, I want to use 932, this DMC Blue. I think that'll be a nice contrast. I'll see when I start doing the black work in the middle to see how it looks with that red and white. Okay. Put that one there. Put my pencil. Yep. So now my Hades. I made this big old pillowcase, essentially, is what I made to hold the frames. I'm not worried about my Hades this year. I'm going to grab onto them next year. I knew with a new baby, no. He would never leave me alone. So, dollar store pillowcases. This one is, for some reason, I don't have my pictures. I don't know where my pictures went. Sorry. Mini Evergreen. I think, Andrea, you're stitching this one. I'm stitching it on 18 count Aida. And all the branches, all those color variations. Oh, they're so nice. The pattern reminds me of my grandma. My grandma, she showed me pictures of her when she was a young lady, and she had the hat. Yeah. So there's one Hade. And this one, Mini Tears of Yesterday. I just have a little bit. When I started it that day, I started it on 25 count and did not like it, so I went back to 18 count. So otherwise I'd have been farther. But she only has 16 colors. A lot of those colors. And then this one is Lady Avalon. Most of those stitches are 3371, my least favorite DMC. This is 22 count Aida or hard hanger fabric, and I'm using the waist knot method that Pam talked about, Pam Reed talked about. This one is, it's gonna fall apart here. This one is the Scout. Again, I only worked on it one day. It's also the 22 count, and I'm also using the waist knots. And then this one is White Dragon. So I have page 1 completely done, and I was working on page 2. It's 18 count. The detail in this piece is amazing, because you're like, oh, why would I put a purple in the middle of nowhere? And then you step back and it's like, oh, that's why. That is all my, is that all of them? No. No, there is one, which I think is my oldest WIP now. Yeah, I think this one is my oldest WIP. If you watch Jessie Marie's videos, you've seen Persephone by Mira Delia. This is 32 count Lugana Vintage Antique Fields. And here's where I'm at. So I was stitching on her and then we got in a fight. And then I pulled out red and started red and I finished red as red and never got back to this one. So this is my oldest WIP at the moment because since I did my video that you guys didn't see, in my list, using my leg, I gotta move my leg, it's falling asleep. I'm finished. This was my oldest WIP. And my big toe designs, the Lord is my shepherd. I had all the words done and I was working on the border and I thought, I don't need the border. So I removed the border and called it a finish, and this is a huge piece. The fabric itself is 21 inches by 31 inches, and then if I had had the border, yeah, and some of the borders for my big toe designs I like, that one I didn't like, and I thought, it's plenty big. So it's all done in Baby Spinach by Gentle Arts, and the purple, these little purple flowers, and there's, you can see the purple here, is called Sugar Plum by Gentle Arts. I love that each section has different fonts, so it keeps you interested in the piece. So it is done. It is no longer my oldest WIP. Yay! That feels good. This feels good to have this one done. This is 32 count Belfast in cream. I got it at my L&S. So I got it done. Woohoo! Woohoo! And I was looking at pictureframes.com that Stephanie, Miss Oh So Crafty, talks about. I think I have a frame picked out. And the frame, including like a UV cover, I think it was, what do they call it? UV acrylic cover, was only $80 for the frame assembled and that. And I thought, okay. I have to order it though. I'll see. But yeah, it's done. It is done. But that's not the only finish. That's not the only finish. So this one I had done, Queen Anne's Lace. I had this done in April 2016. It's also on the 32 count Jobelan Georgia Peach. That was a really big piece and I was able to cut it down. So Feather Fairy is on part of it and then this one's on the other. When I was stitching her, I saw her in a different colorway and I literally finished this last night. And here she is. So I have my warm weather fairy and I have my cold weather fairy, and I'm calling her Jackie Frost. And it's also 32 count Jobelan. I wanted them on the same type of fabric and the same count, so I'm going to frame them and they could be in similar size frames. And Ice Princess under the Sea Fabrics. And she is complete. I just finished her last night. So she's my own color conversion. I will be making the color conversion available at some point. It's not available today, but it will be available in the future. And major changes I made. Her wings are all metallic. Her hair I changed to a water lily. She has a sweater. I live in Minnesota. I'm familiar with frost. And then she's got boots. She's got boots. So I have them. She's done. Woohoo! So since I did my WIPs list, 2 finishes. And I'm almost done with the burst sampler, so 3 almost finishes. So that is my WIPs. I actually ended up with less WIPs than I thought. When I first thought I'd do this, I thought, oh man, I think I have like 54 WIPs. I don't. Of course, now I have a whole box that's kitted up. So I'll make up for it. Let me grab it. Here's my kitted up pieces. And I'm not going to show all of them, but I did want to show one of them in particular. That one? No, it's this one. I'm also going to do an update video, and then I'll definitely show this. And here's Iris. So 2 of them I'm going to show. Okay. Part of the Fabric of the Month Club with Fiberlicious and Marvelous with September. And that's for Iris. So I picked up the flosses for her today with my 40% off regular prices at Joann coupon. And the floss was not on sale, meaning I got the floss for about 36 cents if I did the math right. Don't trust me, I have a cold, so I don't trust myself with numbers when I have a cold. But this one, this is also Fiberlicious. And okay, Lady of Mystery. See, I think Garden Party would be pretty with something like that. Where you like took this corner and reversed it. I just don't like those lanterns. I'm not sure why. And this is Fiberlicious. .32 count Belfast. It is called Rolling in the Deep, and it is breathtaking. I originally had ordered this one, Wisteria Garden, for Lady of Mystery. It's a nice lilac-y color. We'll use that for another project. But then she released this like the next day. I thought, really? So I had to order this one. It's just too stunning for words. And I think she will look amazing on this piece of fabric. So she is one of my starts for January. I'm not sure. Bye, Andrea. I'm not sure the order I'm going to do my January ones. But putting my list together, and I'll be checking it thrice. But I think I'm going to call it good. My little guy wakes up and wants to nurse again. He was up at 1 in the morning just crying because Mama ate broccoli last night. I thought, oh, he's 11 months, I can eat broccoli. I love broccoli. No, I can't do it. But I guess this worked, and it's kind of cool. So I thank you all for watching and your comments, your lovely comments, Kimberly and Andrea and Grandma B. And I hope I got everybody. So I will finish this up, and I will be doing an update video. Probably not tonight, but I'll be doing an update video for September and my October plans soon. So I will talk to you all later. Have a good evening.